I can't air what I say. Some of the stuff I say to myself, I couldn't air. This is Kendra with Truist TV, and I'm back with another video. This is going to be a quick video. All I got to say to those who think masculinity is toxic, masculinity is toxic to faggots. Simp, effeminate, vaginal men. That is where masculinity is toxic. To a whole bunch of simpy, wimpy ass niggas. That's it. I realize society has gotten so feminine with men because the power that be is feminine. And it's not because women in the office, it's because there are men who were never masculine. They are so far removed from masculinity, they got to make masculinity obsolete. They got to make masculinity a bad thing because they can't measure up. Why do you think you got so many men trying to be transgender so that they can compete against women? This lets you know the effeminate spirit in a lot of these white men. And then it trickled down to every other race that has those same effeminate qualities taught to them by these effeminate white men. I realize that. I realize that because there's so many effeminate white male leaders, because that's what they are, in society that control social media, all of those men who would normally have some form of masculinity in them are tarnished mentally by the powers that be that is very Baphomet, very effeminate, very girly, very vaginal. See, feminism as a whole is something that is on a woman fine, being feminine. On a man, it is an abomination to God and to me and everybody else. But I realized before this transgender thing started, there was y'all gotta know when this started. This was several years back when they started calling masculinity toxic. Toxic masculinity was before all this transgender stuff, where they tried to take and mix and make masculine sour. Masculine men ain't never did nothing to nobody. It is not a masculine man that make men rapists. That's effeminate. He and his emotions and can't take no. That's the feminine quality. The feminine quality of that man that leads his emotions to make him rape. That's the feminine quality that's in that man that led to make him beat that woman, kill, or murder. He can't control his emotions because a masculine man has self-control. Don't you dare lie on masculinity. A part of being masculine is having control. So when you say they call it toxic masculinity, yeah, for a faggot. Because when they effeminine is when they can't control their emotions, like anger, frustration, loneliness. It's the effeminate in the man that makes the incel. Now he got to find somebody weaker to rape because he can't masculine himself up enough to actually be a decent man and qualify to be able to go and get that woman. So his emotions rule him, and then he go out and do something led by his emotions. That's feminist. That's being female. That's vaginal. You dare lie on masculinity. Ain't nothing been wrong with masculine. We got a masculine God. You You are crazy. Am I making sense or am I making sense? Ain't nothing toxic about masculinity. And femininity on a woman ain't nothing toxic about it. We are made to be what we are made to be. When you switch roles, you destroy societies, nations, and people. God gave us our roles for a reason. His blueprint was right. Man ain't never make nothing that work out perfect. Let me say that again. Man ain't never made nothing that work out perfect. God did. His earth, his people, your body heals itself. You regenerate 7 years, your skin, after 7 years, the whole body replenishes itself. You got kidney if you don't destroy it. Your kidneys, your brain, your lungs do everything that it is supposed to do, the way it is supposed to be done. Your heart, your mind. Man ain't never made nothing that works perfectly. The earth that replenish you, give you fruit and vegetables, give you beast and fowl. God did that. So when you coming in with these new genders and these gender, you don't know what you doing. You turning the world upside down. Take several seats. These effeminate men are so toxic, it is disgusting. They got no accountability. They hurt and murder at will. They try to force their will on other people. How does a grown-ass man think he got a right to show up in an all-girls locker room with his penis hanging? Little girls in there. And he don't think nothing wrong with it. And they think, and you try to say that they ain't got nothing to do with masculinity. You sick and depraved. There is nothing toxic about masculinity. There's something toxic about effeminate men. This whole design of this feminine man being in touch with your inside parts, being more entwined with your emotions, ain't nothing wrong with a man that cries. There's something wrong with a man that wallows in self-pity and don't get himself up, because there's something wrong with a woman that wallows in self-pity and that can't get herself up. If you are a grown adult and you wallow in self-pity, there's something wrong, point blank, period. You need help. But a man that can't control himself, that's not toxic masculinity. That's toxic effeminate nature. And y'all need to get rid of this effeminate culture that's running around here in society calling itself a man. It is disturbing, some of the stuff I hear men say. What you bring to the table. What qualifies you? What this, that, or you? What are you talking about? What can you provide? What are you talking about? Men are to provide. Can we go 50-50? If it makes sense. But then we're going to have to go 50-50 on decision making, don't you think? I'm just saying. Back in the day, men provided completely. Sarah never paid 50-50 or nothing with Abraham. The only thing they 50-50 was half on Isaac. But when it came down to it, Abraham provided everything for Sarah. Jacob provided everything for Rachel. Isaac provided for both Rachel and Leah. These women were never said to go 50-50 with no man. But yet and still, he the head of the household. Show me a scripture where a woman is going 50-50 with a man, but yet and still he the head of the household. Now it does talking about a woman being able to take care of her family. She go and sell in the market or whatever, and she takes care of her family and buys groceries and whatnot and provide for her family. It does say that, but it doesn't say anything about her going 50-50. Do you understand? Does it? The man has always been the provider of every household. Notice that when y'all see a lot of single women or even single man households, there is an imbalance. It does not turn out right. As a matter of fact, I'll give you an example. People always look at single family men. Single mother households where men are brought up. But nobody talks about the men who are raised by single fathers. I got a prime example of a man who's not mentally right, raised by a single father. That's Mediocre Tutorial. He do videos all the time, men out his rocker. And he was raised by a single man. And look at him. He a male chauvinist, got no compassion. He about as bad as being raised by a single mother. You want to know why? Because in society, people don't teach men to have any type of love for women. Women just sex. You think most women dumb. That's why y'all like that. Y'all don't learn nothing. I don't even, cavemen didn't even behave like that. Where do men learn how to treat women? Who told you your woman was too stupid to understand anything? Who told you she was beneath you? There's no textbook saying that. You are stronger because you're supposed to be a provider. But just because you got different uses don't make her beneath you, you moron. It's just like the pilot is the matter-of-fact driver of the plane. Don't make the co-pilot weak. So if the plane go down and the captain dead, if the co-pilot weak, then who gonna navigate the ship? Do you understand? I think they got too many of y'all men out here brain dead. And you know what don't make no sense? For the world to be so anti-masculinity, they not exactly pro-femininity. It's just destruction all the way around the board. Because if they were pro-femininity, they wouldn't try to destroy the family. Women need men to reproduce. And not only that, they talk about us killing they talk about us they try to make women everything but a mother. She got no, she don't. A woman is to be a mother. That's what you here for. Nobody's saying you can't be no lawyer, no clergyman, but let's tell the truth. Your use is to be a mother and to love and to nurture. All of the perks that come with being that is great. But stop throwing away your natural use to be nothing more than what is socially acceptable to a whole bunch of women who hate men. Feminism and male chauvinism is the same shit. It's a hot, burning mess. I could never be a feminist. It's losery. I love men. I don't want a world without men. I want men to act right. I don't care for none of the stupid stuff that come with men. But we don't want a world without this. I don't want a touchy-feely, soft, sensitive, faggoty man. That's what make rapists. Don't y'all understand that these effeminate men, the ones who are led by their emotions, is the reason why there are domestic violence that go on? That's not masculinity. That man that punched you in the face is so in touch with his feminine side, it don't make no sense. His emotion is what runs him ragged. That's what women do. We, being feminine, look up the attributes. We are emotional. When a man is led by his emotions, this is where you get serial killers, rapists, and domestic violence. That does not come from masculinity. That come because masculinity has self-control. Masculine men think logically. He knows he's strong. If I punch her, I break her face. So I'm not going to exactly put my hands on her. I may feel like it, but I'm going to talk to her like something so she get on that act right before I want to break her face. But an effeminate man, a man that's feminine, he going to break your face and think about everything else later. That's how women are. We fight and swing first and think about the concept. And then when the police call, we cry. Because we didn't count the cost before our emotions took over. I'm done. This is Kendra with True Us TV. Like, share, and subscribe.